formaldehyde derivatives, chlorine bleaching residues, and bacterial contamination linked to infection, all found in some of America's most trusted toilet paper brands. But tear off a sheet of the wrong brand, and what you're really pressing against your skin is bleach byproducts, synthetic binders, and lint particles laced with processing chemicals, all disguised as softness. If this has been your go-to brand for 10, 20, 30 years, everything we found has been touching your body that entire time. Today, we're breaking down 11 brands that failed to protect your skin, including 3 most Americans consider premium, plus the 2 brands that actually tested clean and won't leave you reaching for a cream to undo the damage. Coming in at number 11, Sparkle. Pick up a roll of Sparkle and you feel it before you even tear the first sheet. That rough, almost cardboard texture that catches against your fingers like fine sandpaper. Now imagine that same abrasive surface against the most delicate skin on your body, multiple times a day, every single day. Product reviewers have repeatedly flagged Sparkle for excessive paper dust and a coarse texture that feels more like craft supplies than bathroom tissue. That dust isn't harmless decoration. Every wipe releases tiny fiber particles that settle into folds of sensitive skin, irritating tissue that's already vulnerable from moisture and friction. The fibers themselves are short, loosely bonded, and processed for speed, not comfort. That gritty residue you sometimes notice after using it, those are broken fiber fragments too small to stay bonded to the sheet, but large enough to scratch and inflame raw skin. For anyone dealing with urinary issues or recovering from surgery in sensitive areas, or families buying budget tissue for elderly parents, that constant microabrasion creates a cycle of inflammation that worsens with every single use. Sparkle is manufactured by Georgia Pacific, a subsidiary of Koch Industries, one of the largest privately held corporations in America. They could engineer a softer, cleaner product tomorrow morning. They choose not to because Sparkle exists for one reason only: maximum profit from minimum material. A roll costs about 50 cents. Your comfort is worth less than a vending machine gumball to this company. Affordable tissue shouldn't mean painful tissue. But for Sparkle, those two things are the exact same product. Rough on your skin, gentle on their bottom line. Think paying more gets you something gentler? Not with this next brand. At number 10, Prince & Spring. You've probably seen it stacked floor to ceiling at warehouse retailers across the country. Giant packs, bulk pricing, the kind of deal that makes you feel smart for buying in volume. Prince & Spring toilet paper sells itself entirely on quantity. What it never mentions is consistency. Consumer feedback has repeatedly flagged wild quality swings between batches. One pack feels passable, almost decent. The next feels like you're wiping with notebook paper. That inconsistency isn't just annoying. It's genuinely dangerous for anyone with a condition that demands gentleness every single time. The manufacturing process behind Prince & Spring prioritizes speed over uniformity. When fiber bonding varies from production run to production run, you get sheets that are rough in patches, dangerously thin in others, and prone to tearing mid-use. That tearing forces you to fold over, press harder, and repeat, which means more friction on tissue that's already compromised and inflamed. For people managing hemorrhoids, medication-related skin dryness, or chronic irritation in sensitive areas, or families stocking bathrooms for aging parents, one bad batch can trigger a flare-up that takes weeks to heal. And there's no way to test toilet paper before you buy it. You won't know which batch you got until the damage is done. 48 rolls to save money. 48 chances for your skin to lose that gamble. And when a bad batch does hit, there's no customer service line that fixes a hemorrhoid flare-up. There's no refund for 2 weeks of burning discomfort. Bulk savings, batch roulette. That's the trade Prince & Spring offers every single time you shop. Your skin pays the difference, and it pays in pain. If discount brands can't get it right, surely a warehouse club premium brand does better. Not necessarily. Number 9, Members Mark. Sam's Club stamps Members Mark on everything from olive oil to bath tissue, and the toilet paper carries bold claims about premium softness. Pick up a roll and it does feel plush enough in your hand. But use it and the illusion falls apart almost immediately. Customer reports and independent comparison tests have consistently flagged heavy lint shedding during use. That lint isn't just messy. Those microscopic fiber fragments become airborne the moment you unroll the sheet. They settle on skin, in lungs, and across bathroom surfaces where you can't see them. The paper also breaks down rapidly when wet, which sounds like a septic system feature until you realize it means the sheet is disintegrating against your body before it finishes the job. That forces extra wiping, extra friction, extra irritation on skin that needed less contact, not more. For anyone with respiratory sensitivity like asthma or COPD, or people dealing with post-surgical wound care in delicate areas, airborne lint particles create an irritation source you can't even see coming. And the rapid breakdown means you're using twice as many sheets per visit, which doubles your total chemical exposure from whatever processing residues live in those fibers. Members Mark generated billions in revenue for Walmart last year. Premium softness is a marketing sentence, not a manufacturing standard. Shedding fibers, rapid breakdown, invisible irritation. Your membership card doesn't protect your skin. It just gives you the illusion of value while delivering the reality of fiber fragments settling into every fold of irritated tissue. Premium on the label. Lint storm in the bathroom. That's what your annual Costco fee bought you. At number 8, Marcal. The green packaging, the recycled label, the promise that you're saving trees with every roll you buy. Marcal built its entire identity on being the environmentally responsible choice. Recycled paper sounds noble until you learn what recycled actually means in the toilet tissue industry. Some recycled paper testing has detected trace contaminants, residual inks, and chemical processing residues in lower-cost recycled tissue products. When paper gets recycled, it carries ghost chemicals from its previous life. Inks from newspapers, adhesives from cardboard packaging, dyes from glossy magazines. The recycling process is supposed to strip those contaminants out completely, but lower-cost operations cut corners on decontamination because thorough purification eats into profit margins. What reaches your bathroom is paper that technically meets recycled content standards, but still carries molecular hitchhikers from every previous life that paper lived. Open a roll of Marcal, and sometimes you catch it immediately, a faint industrial smell that doesn't belong anywhere near a bathroom product. That's not freshness. That's processing residue you're about to press against the most absorbent skin on your body. For anyone with contact allergies or compromised skin barriers, or people using topical medications that make skin more permeable and absorbent, those trace chemicals don't just sit politely on the surface. They migrate directly through your skin. Your body doesn't distinguish between a chemical applied intentionally and one that arrived by accident. It absorbs both the same way. Green packaging, chemical ghosts inside. Marcal charges you a feel-good premium for the privilege of pressing recycled contaminants against your body. The trees are grateful. Your skin is not. Saving the planet shouldn't mean sacrificing the most sensitive tissue on your body to chemicals that hitched a ride from someone else's recycled newspaper. You'd think a major national brand would at least get the basics right. Number 7. Great value. Walmart's house brand sits in more American bathrooms than almost any other toilet paper on the market today. The price point, often under $4 for a 12-pack, makes it irresistible for families watching every dollar of their grocery budget. But consumer testing has repeatedly criticized great value for inconsistent softness, higher chemical processing, and weaker quality control compared with name-brand competitors. Budget manufacturing means aggressive chemical processing to keep costs as low as physically possible. Those harsh fibers and chemical residues that testing revealed aren't accidents. They're features of a production line optimized for pennies per roll, not comfort per use. Tear a sheet off and feel it between your fingers carefully. That slightly waxy, almost slick texture isn't softness. It's a surface treatment designed to feel smooth on first touch while hiding rough fiber underneath. The moment moisture hits, that coating dissolves and you're left with raw processed pulp against raw irritated skin. For seniors managing chronic skin conditions alongside daily medication, or anyone on blood thinners that make skin bruise and tear more easily, that deception matters every single bathroom visit. You thought you were buying soft. You bought a surface trick that vanishes the instant it actually counts. Walmart is the largest retailer on Earth. They dictate exact manufacturing standards to every supplier they work with. They could demand cleaner processing, softer fibers, stricter quality control for a product that touches the most sensitive part of your body. 33 cents per roll. That's what your skin is worth to the world's richest retailer. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It's free, and it means you'll never miss these exposés. But at least Costco's house brand is a step up, right? Let's find out. Number 6. Kirkland Signature. The Costco faithful swear by Kirkland like it's a religion. Thick rolls, reasonable price, the comfort of buying from a retailer that supposedly demands quality from every supplier on its shelves. Then you actually use it and notice something odd. Lint everywhere. On your skin, on the toilet seat, on your clothes, on the bathroom floor. Customer reports and product reviewers have consistently flagged excessive lint and dust shedding during use. That shedding isn't a minor cosmetic annoyance. It signals a manufacturing process where fiber bonding is sacrificed for perceived thickness. They pile on more material to make the roll feel substantial in your hand, but those layers aren't locked together tightly enough to survive actual use. The result is a product that deposits as much fiber on your body as it removes. Lint particles catch in irritated skin folds and create friction points that worsen inflammation with every single bathroom visit throughout the day. For people with eczema in sensitive areas, or anyone whose daily medication causes skin thinning and increased dryness, deposited lint particles act like tiny splinters pressing into tissue that's already compromised and struggling to heal. And here's what most people never consider. That lint doesn't just stay on your skin. It floats. Every unrolling sends a small cloud of fiber particles into the enclosed air of your bathroom. You breathe it in while you sit there. Day after day, month after month, year after year. Costco built its reputation on quality at scale. Kirkland Signature is supposed to be the product where bulk buying meets genuine value. When it comes to their toilet paper, you're getting bulk fiber shedding disguised as plush comfort. Thick rolls, thin standards. See the pattern? Budget brands cut corners on processing. Warehouse brands hide behind bulk packaging. So surely the classic American household names are safer. They're not. Number 5. Scott. Your parents probably used Scott. Your grandparents definitely did. It's been an American bathroom staple for well over a century. The brand families buy out of pure habit because it's always been there on the shelf. Scott positions itself as the practical choice. Septic-safe, long-lasting, no-nonsense tissue for sensible households. But practical has a cost they don't print on the wrapper. Consumer reviews and lab comparisons have consistently rated Scott as rougher and more abrasive than most competing brands at any price point. That roughness isn't subjective preference. It's structural by design. Scott uses a single-ply construction with minimal softening treatment because their entire selling point is durability, not comfort. The paper is engineered to last on the roll, not to be gentle on your body. Run your finger across a dry sheet. Feel that almost papery stiffness, that dry resistance. Now imagine that exact texture pressed against hemorrhoids, against skin thinned by years of daily blood pressure medication, against tissue slowly healing from a medical procedure. Every single wipe is sandpaper on a wound you can't see. For anyone on daily blood thinners, or dealing with chronic hemorrhoids, or families caring for elderly parents recovering from surgery, the friction from Scott doesn't just irritate. It can cause micro tears that bleed, that invite infection, that turn a simple bathroom visit into a medical concern requiring treatment. A century of trust. A century of abrasion. Scott has been in American bathrooms for over 100 years. And for every one of those years, they've chosen how long the paper lasts over the skin it touches. Long-lasting paper. Long-lasting damage. Drop a comment if Scott is in your bathroom right now. Let's see how many of us grew up trusting this brand without ever questioning what it was doing to our skin. At least the brands that market freshness and cleanliness would be safer, right? Think again. Number 4. Cottonelle. Clean, fresh, gentle. Cottonelle's entire marketing identity revolves around making you believe their product is practically medical-grade hygiene. The flushable wipes paired with the toilet paper. The clean routine messaging on every package. The implication that Cottonelle doesn't just clean you, it genuinely cares about your body. Then 2020 happened. Cottonelle issued a voluntary recall of specific flushable wipes due to possible contamination with Pluralobacter gergovii, a bacterium that can cause serious infections in people with weakened immune systems. A product marketed specifically for cleanliness, contaminated with bacteria. A product positioned as gentle daily care, potentially causing the very infections it was supposed to prevent. The clean routine, contaminated. That's the betrayal in one sentence. For people with compromised immunity from chemotherapy, diabetes, or autoimmune conditions, or anyone recovering from surgery in sensitive areas, bacterial contamination on a product that contacts broken or irritated skin isn't a minor recall footnote buried in an FDA database. It's a direct pathway to infection that could land you in a doctor's office or an emergency room. Cottonelle is manufactured by Kimberly-Clark, a corporation with annual revenue exceeding $18 billion. They have the laboratories, the microbiologists, and the budgets to implement contamination prevention that would make incidents like this virtually impossible. The recall happened anyway. The product returned to shelves. The marketing didn't change at all. They still call it the clean routine, still pair the wipes with the paper, still imply that Cottonelle means hygiene. Most consumers never even even heard about the contamination recall. Fresh packaging, dirty history. They're counting on your short memory and your long loyalty. The next brand has a loyal fan base that swears by it. What the record actually shows is a very different story. Number 3, Quilted Northern. Plush, quilted, luxury. Those are the words Quilted Northern uses to position itself as a genuinely premium bathroom product. The packaging shows soft quilted patterns. The advertising promises cloud-like comfort, and the price point sits comfortably above store brands and budget options. You're paying extra because quilted means better, right? Environmental reports and ingredient reviews have raised serious questions about the bleaching processes and synthetic binders used in some Quilted Northern product lines. That brilliant white color isn't natural. Paper comes from wood, and wood is brown. To achieve that pristine white sheet, manufacturers use chlorine-based bleaching that can leave behind chemical residues called dioxins and furans. Those residues don't wash off the paper. They transfer to whatever the paper touches, including your body's most sensitive tissue. The quilted texture itself creates another problem most consumers never think about. Those patterned indentations trap moisture and chemical residue against skin instead of wiping clean. What feels plush in your hand acts like a chemical stamp against your body, pressing bleach byproducts into sustained contact with tissue that has no protective barrier whatsoever. For anyone managing eczema in sensitive areas, people on circulation medication that compromises skin integrity, or families caring for someone with diabetes, related skin fragility, chemical residues from industrial bleaching processes create an invisible daily assault on tissue that cannot defend itself. Luxury pricing, chemical bleaching, moisture-trapping texture designed to look premium. You're paying more for a product that's actively working against your skin with every use. Quilted comfort on the store shelf. Chemical contact in your bathroom. We're not done. The next 2 brands are ones almost every American household trusts completely, and they're the worst on this entire list. Number 2, Angel Soft. Soft is literally in the name. A baby angel on the packaging. Everything about this brand whispers gentle, pure, completely safe for your most sensitive moments. Consumer advocacy groups have sharply criticized Angel Soft for using virgin pulp processing methods involving chlorine bleaching that may leave chemical residues behind on the finished paper. Virgin pulp sounds clean and natural. It means the paper comes from freshly harvested trees, not recycled material. But virgin pulp processing at industrial scale involves extremely aggressive chemical treatment to break raw wood fibers into something soft enough for bathroom use. Chlorine bleaching is a central part of that treatment. The byproducts, organochlorines, don't fully rinse away during manufacturing. They bond to the paper fibers at a molecular level. Every single sheet carries trace amounts. Every use transfers those traces directly to your skin. For people with kidney disease where the body struggles to efficiently filter absorbed chemicals, or anyone with an autoimmune condition that makes skin hypersensitive to even the smallest trace irritants, those exposures don't stay small. They compound silently, day after day, year after year, roll after roll. The damage doesn't announce itself with a rash or a redness. It accumulates invisibly until it can't be ignored. Angel Soft is manufactured by Georgia Pacific, the same Coke industry subsidiary behind Sparkle, the cheapest and roughest brand on our entire avoid list. The bargain brand and the mid-tier brand, same parent company, same cost-cutting manufacturing philosophy, different packaging. The angel on the box isn't protecting you. It's distracting you while the same corporation sells you the same chemical shortcuts at 2 different price points. Soft in the name, chlorine on the sheet. What's the worst toilet paper you've ever used? Drop it below. Let's compare notes. And now, number 1. The brand more Americans trust than any other toilet paper on the market. The one with the bear. The one that promises comfort in every squeeze. Number 1 is Charmin, America's favorite. The squeezably soft icon. Bears dancing through the forest, families laughing, comfort and warmth radiating from every single commercial. Charmin is the most recognized toilet paper brand in the country and one of the most profitable products in Procter & Gamble's massive empire. It's also the brand with the most documented concerns about what's actually pressed into those fibers you use every day. Independent testing and consumer complaints have repeatedly raised red flags about formaldehyde derivatives, fragrance chemicals, and lint residue that can irritate sensitive skin. Formaldehyde derivatives, the same chemical family used in embalming fluid, in industrial building adhesives, in products the EPA classifies as a probable human carcinogen, pressed against the most absorbent, most vulnerable skin on your body, multiple times every single day. The fragrances are no better. Those subtle scents that make Charmin smell fresh in the package are synthetic chemical compounds designed to mask the industrial smell of processed wood pulp. Fragrance formulations are legally proprietary, meaning companies aren't required to disclose the specific chemical ingredients hiding inside them. You don't know what you're inhaling. You don't know what's absorbing through your skin every time you use it. And neither does your doctor when you report unexplained irritation. For people managing diabetes where skin heals slowly and infections spread fast. Anyone dealing with hemorrhoids where tissue is already torn and inflamed, or families caring for someone whose immune system is already weakened by treatment or age. Repeated exposure to formaldehyde derivatives and undisclosed fragrance chemicals isn't simple irritation. It's a compounding medical risk hiding in your most personal daily routine. Procter & Gamble reported over $80 billion in revenue last year. They could produce fragrance-free, formaldehyde-free, hypoallergenic toilet paper tomorrow and barely notice the cost difference on their balance sheet. They choose not to because the scent and the softness marketing are the brand identity. Your body matters less than their brand. The bear keeps smiling on the package. The chemicals keep absorbing through your skin. America's most trusted toilet paper. America's most intimate chemical exposure. That's 11 brands. 11 products that promised softness and delivered chemicals, lint, bacteria, and bleach residues to the most sensitive part of your body. But 2 brands prove it's still possible to find tissue that actually protects your skin instead of quietly attacking it. Safe pick number 1. 7th generation. Open a package of 7th generation and the first thing you notice is what's missing. No perfume, no chemical freshness, no synthetic scent designed to convince you the paper is clean before you even use it. It just smells like paper. That's because it is just paper. 7th generation uses unbleached or minimally processed fibers without added dyes, fragrances, or chlorine bleaching agents. The paper comes out slightly off-white, closer to natural cream than brilliant snow, because they skip the chemical bath that every brand on our avoid list relies on to make their sheets look pristine. That natural color is your visual proof that no chlorine residues, no dioxins, no bleaching byproducts are hiding in those fibers waiting to transfer to your body. The company publishes ingredient transparency information that most competitors guard as proprietary trade secrets. They hold FSC certification for responsible forestry and EPA Safer Choice recognition on select products, a designation that requires meeting strict criteria for both human health and environmental safety. Feel a sheet between your fingers. It's soft without being fragile, substantial without being rough. It tears cleanly without shedding lint clouds into the air or depositing fiber fragments on your skin. For anyone whose daily medication makes their skin more reactive, or people managing conditions where skin integrity is essential to avoiding infection, 7th generation delivers what every brand on the avoid list only promises. Simple, clean paper that doesn't add chemicals to your body. It costs $1 or $2 more per package. That's the price of not pressing formaldehyde derivatives against your skin. Safe pick number 2. Kaboo. Kaboo doesn't just change the processing method, it changes the raw material entirely. Instead of wood pulp that requires intensive chemical treatment to become soft enough for bathroom use, Kaboo makes toilet paper from bamboo. Bamboo fibers are naturally softer than wood fibers before any processing even begins. That means the manufacturing requires far less chemical intervention to achieve a gentle, skin-friendly texture. The result is a sheet that feels different the moment you touch it. Smoother, more flexible, almost cloth-like, compared with the stiff processed feel of conventional tissue paper. Kaboo uses chlorine-free processing throughout, eliminating the bleaching residues that contaminated nearly every brand on the avoid list. The packaging is BPA-free, and the brand holds third-party sustainability certifications that verify their environmental and processing claims aren't just marketing copy on the label. For people with thin skin from aging or medication, anyone with allergies triggered by chemical residues in conventional paper, or families caring for someone with immune concerns, bamboo toilet paper represents a fundamentally different approach. Instead of starting with a harsh raw material and drowning it in chemicals to force it into softness, Kaboo starts with a naturally gentle material and keeps it gentle through every single manufacturing step. It costs roughly the same as premium conventional brands, sometimes even less. Softer fibers, fewer chemicals, no chlorine residues, no fragrance additives, and a product designed to work with your skin instead of against it. The bamboo also grows back within 3 to 5 years versus decades for the hardwood trees that conventional brands destroy. Kaboo proves toilet paper doesn't have to be a chemical delivery system disguised as comfort. It just has to start with a better material. 11 brands, 11 broken promises, 1 bathroom cabinet that needs an honest look. Subscribe now, and if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.